Yo, everybody, have you ever found something that felt like a huge time capsule? Something that is so distinctly from a bygone era, whether intentionally or not? For me, it would be a review by the name of Rebel. While mostly known for his cartoon reviews, he also does game reviews, as well as sometimes both games and cartoons. For me, his vids are like this great time capsule of the 2000s, and he goes all out on it too. The commercials, the whole visual aesthetic of his videos. Well, anyway, at some point he made a webcomic that he recently turned into an indie pilot, Loki IRL. It seemed to be going for a world messed with different art styles, like a more experimental Gumball mixed with Chowder and The Matrix. And what made things even more interesting was its self-proclamation as the best indie pilot. Best, huh? I'll be the judge of that. This is Loki IRL. In a world where cartoonists can have their characters become IRL in real life, the only downside being real life. They get hurt, they can even die.
Loki found this cyber gem. Once activated through Wi-Fi, it's a bit much.
I got a cyber gem too. It's the Bubsy pilot.
It's me, the Prince of Personality, Bubsy!
No, it's coming back.
Okay, what now? What are we doing? Give me the truck!
At least I didn't take any lives this time. Maybe? What? The main characters are Bianca, an artist, and her IRL Loki. They're pretty infamous for a lot of one-sided matches. Very infamous. That is until one fight opportunity is given that may change it all. So what about them characters, huh? Well, for starters, they're very charming. Like, for example, I love that both Bianca and Loki are huge geeks, especially Loki. It gives him a lot more depth than just a smug badass. I especially like Bianca's self-conflict about her worries for everybody else's opinion about her and Loki, but I think it should have been done more prominently to make when she doesn't do the line accent feel more natural and less rigid. Actually, the more I think about it, the more it makes me wonder on Loki's perspective on this. Could have been really interesting to see how he also deals with it all, not just Bianca. Bianca's threads were especially fun whenever they did get to show up, and unfortunately, aside from the beginning, they pretty much took a major backseat, and it kinda doesn't help that Stephanie and Loki essentially sound the same. As somebody who does the same thing, I get why it happens. Speaking of getting it, you will be continuing the Burning Sword recording, right?
You see?
Well,
Maybe later.
you always say that.
And I'm always busy. Scram.
I should have gotten working for Adult Swim.
Speaking of Steph, this IRL reminds me of something. I got it! Bubsy.
The whole idea of pitting IRL against each other I really liked. It was like a combination of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! With the way the IRL were commanded by drawing. I draw Loki! I like that this is something that's beyond competitions. It can even be done for fun. Makes it feel less like an obligation or even an obligatory plot gimmick and more like an existing actual game. Visually, it is absolutely oozing with charm and inspiration from the 2000s, from Y2K to having a mass of different art styles, animation era notwithstanding, down to the fact that the commercial breaks are even stylized.
I wouldn't even be able to have a commercial shot. No. Hey, wait, come back, come back, come back! Hey! Why do I keep seeing that? Or is that going to fuck up with the pacing?
The pacing might be one of the biggest hurdles of this pilot for just how inconsistent it is. Sometimes it feels like it goes too fast, but then in some instances it drags on a bit too much. It almost impacts the whole pilot feeling messy and uneven. Speaking of which, it's clear from the message of cartoonists and the animation industry that this is Pen Pizza's commentary.
On the one hand, I get it. With the way the industry has been treated, it has been complete search over the words, and wanting to explore that is something I totally get. However, there is such a thing as subtlety, and this is anything but.
I feel like there would be better ways than to I feel like there would be better ways than I feel like there would be better ways than to just repeat over and over. But if it had to be repeated, I feel like some of the messages could have either been shown instead of told, or even attempted to be masked.
Metaphor, symbolism, something that isn't so blatantly shoved down our throat.
But on a lighter note, this is a really funny pilot. It's not laugh out loud funny, but it is chuckle funny, and usually that's good enough for me. Finally, there's the music and sound effects. I'll start with the sound effects. I love how you can recognize where they came from.
It's kind of like taking something from a creator you really like and twisting it to still be unique and charming.
The music, on the other hand, is pretty awesome. It's weird because, on the one hand, I think they're too atmospheric for me to be able to remember, but when I'm just hearing them while watching, they hit hard. And I feel really bad because I do like a lot of them, it's just they end up messing and blending all together.
But in terms of my favorite, I couldn't tell you a goddamn thing.
But on a lighter note, this is a really funny pilot. It's not laugh out loud funny, but it is chuckle funny, and usually that's good enough for me. Finally, there's the music and sound effects. I'll start with the sound effects. I love how you can recognize where they came from.
So that's Loki IRL. How well does it hold up?
Well, on the whole, I enjoyed myself a lot, with a unique aesthetic, a charming cast of characters, and an awesome concept. But to be frank, some of the main characters were more explored than others. The music is catchy but doesn't really go to be enough to be an earworm for me. The pacing at points can be rather uneven and two of the characters practically sound the same. It's a flawed pilot, but flawed.
And out.
So let's finish that recording.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, nice going bee.